Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with part two of my clones video. So I will say this half of the video, these are all the fragrances that I've actually purchased myself, tons of Dua. So you can see clearly my favorite, so far my favorite clone house has been Dua. I really enjoy Juliana's perfumes as well. And I've got a bunch of really big samples of Juliana's, but I just find the quality for the price with Dua has been the best. Juliana's are kind of expensive. I think they're like $70. You can catch them on a sale, I think, but I feel like $70 is kind of, I think that that's a little bit excessive for a clone fragrance. So because of that, I just kind of stick with Dua. But anyways, I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to start with a couple that are just kind of one-offs. So this is a fragrance from a house called sorry, my dog's here, from Women's Secret, and this is called Oh My Secret. This is very clearly a clone of YSL Manifesto. It's definitely a clone. Again, this is about 97% similar, maybe even like 98. It's so similar to Manifesto. And all of their other fragrances are clones as well. I do believe they make a clone of maybe Chanel Chance. I think that they dupe one of the Chanel Chance fragrances. I know that they've got a dupe of La Vie Belle. So they're definitely a clone house. So that's the first one. This second one, I didn't know if I should include this one or not because I don't know. I do think that Zara clones fragrances. Sometimes they're fragrances that just smell like other fragrances, but I do, for the most part, think that they clone fragrances. So this one is called Vanilla Vibration, and this is, I'm pretty sure, a pretty spot-on clone for Louboutin Loubirouge. I haven't smelled the real thing yet. Maybe somebody, you can comment on whether it's not, but yeah, I feel like Zara is kind of like a clone house. I don't think that they do many fragrances that are like original to them. They're always just kind of cloning other fragrances. And this one, to me, I think this is a clone. So that is Vanilla Vibration. Okay, I've got three from Genre Parfums. The first one is my favorite. This one is called Mellow Vanillo. And this is a clone of Maison Mataha Escapade Gourmand. This is delicious. It's funny because for the longest time, this just did not perform well on me. But the last time I wore this, I smelled this for, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours. Like I smelled like this forever. So I think that it just needed to like start to age for it to start performing super well. I absolutely love this. This is my favorite from the house. The second one that I have is Minnie More, which is House of Silliage Minnie Mouse. I love this one too. This is beautiful. This is such a yummy fragrance. This is like raspberry and whipped cream. So yummy. I love this one. Next we have Plum Dum. I'll have it on the screen for you what this is a dupe of. I can never, oh no, I'm sorry. I do remember. I don't remember. I can think of it in my head, but I can't remember the name of the house. It's Shades of Wood, maybe. Shades of Wood, Plum and Oak or something. I don't know. I'll have it on the screen for you, but it's a Shades of Wood scent. Really beautiful. Okay. These are all my Dua fragrances that are definitely clones of other fragrances. I do have like 3 or 4 of their kind of hybrid fragrances that are clones, but they're, you know, mashups of clones. So I didn't want to include those because they're not technically a clone, like they are, but they aren't. And then of course I left out my ones that are their original creations. So these I'm going to kind of go through pretty quickly. And these I will not remember what they're all clones of because I've got a lot of them. A lot of them are vanillas and I just forget. The first one, my beautiful friend Susan sent this one over to me. This is Lace of the Vanilla, which is supposed to be a clone of Victoria's Secret Vanilla Lace. This one is actually pretty terrible. From what I understand, they had to put out like an apology to people for this one because it ended up being so bad. So yeah, that one is not good. I don't recommend buying that one. I have Extremely Vanille. I love this one, but I don't remember what this is a clone of. I'm quite sure it's a clone of something. So yeah, you'll see I've got a ton of vanillas. They do vanillas so, so good. We've got Vanille de Madagascar. This is Farmacia SS Anunziata Vanille de Madagascar, I think, or Madagascar de Vanille, something like that. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. I'm so grateful to Dua for having duped this because this is what I love dupes for. This is, to me, this is the place that clones have, is when fragrances are discontinued. Houses that come in and replicate those discontinued fragrances, in my mind, are like heroes, because I would have never, this fragrance has been reformulated. So I would have never been able to find a bottle of this original formulation. So thank goodness. This is what I love clones for, when they are cloning fragrances that, one, are just so far out of the majority of people's price range that they would never be able to experience it, or when they clone discontinued fragrances, or when they clone original formulations of fragrances, which I've got some of those too. So to me, this is where a clone's place is, right here. It is my favorite. But yeah, this is the original formulation of this fragrance that has now been reformulated. Okay, we have got Spiced Vanilla Extrait 21. This right here is an example of, this would be out of the price range of probably 95% of most people. This is a clone of Guerlain Vanilla Extrait 21, or I think is what it's called. This is like a $650 bottle of perfume. Nobody is going to spend that kind of money, especially on just a vanilla perfume. Is it beautiful? Absolutely. I love this. This is one of my favorite clones that I've picked up to date. Would I ever save up enough money to spend $650 on just a pretty basic vanilla fragrance? Absolutely not. So again, this to me is the place that clones fill, that we need them to fill, because 95% of us are not going to spend $650 on a perfume. So I am so happy to be able to buy a clone of it, and it's beautiful. So that is Spiced Vanilla Extrait 21. Next, we've got Soft Vanilla. This is a fragrance from Carlo, Dali, and this is a beauty. I love this one too. We have got Creme de Chestnut and Vanille Francaise. This is Jousset chestnut cream or something. I can't remember. It's beautiful. Love it. Somebody sent me a sample of this, and this clone smells identical to it. So super glad to have that. Or from what I remember, it smells very, very similar. Chantilly Vanilla. This, I can't remember who the house is. But yeah, it's a niche fragrance just called Chantilly. Holiday Vanilla Delight. Again, this is my favorite reason for clones. This is the original formulation of, I think, the original formulation of Vanilla Bean Noel from Bath and Body Works. I love it. It's so yummy. This is such an easy reach for me. It might not be the original formulation, but I don't know. Next, we have got Dark Chocolate, Rum, and Vanilla. This is another reason why I love these. This is Guerlain Les Elixir Charnel Gourmand Coquine. Absolutely adore it. Again, this has either been discontinued, or it's been reformulated and repackaged, and they raised the price by $100. So happy to have a clone. It's such a good one. We've got Pomme Trempée. This is a clone of Kilian Apple Brandy. So good. I will tell you too, their clones hold up just incredibly well. You can see some of mine are really old. These are like the old bottles. Yeah, look at how much I've used of this. It's because when I very first got this one, probably for the first like 3 years that I had it, it didn't perform well at all. I would have to spray on so much just to be able to enjoy it for a little while. But this one has aged so beautifully now that it's just a beast. I love it. So, but yeah, these, I will tell you, I've had some of these for years and years, and they're still perfect. Again, here's another one that is just why this is what makes me love clones. This is Intense Homme, and this is, I believe this is the original formulation of Dior L'Homme Intense. It is perfection. This is a men's cologne, or like a men's fragrance, but I absolutely adore this one. This is such a beautiful, kind of slightly masculine leaning iris. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. This, to me, though, I try to get my husband to wear this one, and he won't do it because to him it smells too feminine. So I think it's totally unisex, but yeah, some women might find it too masculine and some men might find it too feminine. But I love it. And again, for me, this is the purpose of clones. This fragrance, yeah, it's still around, but it's been reformulated. It's not nearly as good as it used to be. And this is the original formulation of this. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to have a clone that smells like a fragrance that's been long discontinued. I think this formulation is from maybe 2011. Okay, this is another one. This is Guerlain. No, sorry. This one is called Tonkalicious. This is Guerlain Tonka Imperial. So again, if I wanted to buy a bottle of the real thing, which I do think that this one is still around, it would be $360 at the minimum, which I'm not going to pay $360 for a Tonka fragrance. But I do love this one. It smells incredible. And again, look how dark my liquid has gotten. It's so like rich and just gorgeous. So that is Tonkalicious. Okay, next we have Milkylicious, and this is another one that, oh my goodness, my liquid is just starting to deepen up so much. I just picked this one up. It's been less than a year that I've had this one. This is Blanche Bette. Sorry, this is Liquid Imaginaire Blanche Bette. I absolutely love this. I have I have a travel spray of the real thing, and they do smell like really, really like almost identical. But this one performs a little bit different on me than the real thing. I get a lot of the tuberose on my skin with the clone, and I don't get a lot of the tuberose on my skin with the real one. The real one, I get more of like a really milky, sweet musk, and not much of the tuberose. This one is, I get all the milky, sweet musk, but with this really sweet tuberose too. I love this fragrance. I think it is absolutely stunning. So yeah, anyways, that is Milkylicious. Okay, next we have Love Coffee. I can't remember what this is a clone of. This one's okay. Yeah, actually this one has macerated and changed quite a bit from when I first got it. So I really am liking where this one's going. Can't remember what this is a clone of, but it's a clone of some niche coffee fragrance. Oh, it's really, really nice. I do like this one. This is one though that if you pick this one up, you're going to have to wait like a good year for it to really get to where it's going, if that makes sense. So that is Love Coffee. Okay, next we have another one of my absolute favorites. This is called Intimate with Vanilla. This is Tom Ford Vanilla Sex. This is stunning. This is like an almondy, animalic smelling vanilla. It's so yummy. There's nothing animalic in this, but something about how the almonds and the other notes are blended, you get a slightly animalic quality to it. I love it. This one is so good. Now, I have not smelled the real thing with this one, so I don't know. I think my friend Tatiana has, though. If I remember correctly, I think she did smell the real thing, maybe at a Tom Ford counter. I don't know. I feel like she did, though, and I feel like she said this is really, really similar. I love this on its own. I don't even care if it's a good clone. This one is so good, but I have a feeling it is a good clone. So that is Intimate with Vanilla, which is Tom Ford Vanilla Sex. Okay, we've got Golden Spice Latte. This is a Lush fragrance. This is a clone of Lush Turmeric Latte. I love this. This one is pretty simple. Smells almost identical to the Lush fragrance. I did have a sample of the body spray of this fragrance. So, and I love this. This really is kind of just like a milky, spicy fragrance that is almost not sweet at all. It's really, really beautiful. In fact, I'm going to leave this out because I have this body oil that I have been using a ton recently that my beautiful friend Christine sent me. It's a body oil from a brand called Kate's Magic, which is like a really, really kind of like holistic, very natural bath and body website. Anyways, it's called Sphinx Moth. And I think that this would just layer beautifully over that. So I'm going to actually leave that one out. So that is Golden Spice Latte. Okay, next we have Tonka Bean Addiction. This is the other fragrance, the other Guerlain fragrance. That's the $650 fragrance. I don't know what it's called. It's Guerlain Tonka something. But it's the sister fragrance to the Extrait vanilla one. Yeah, this one smells like Coke. It straight up smells like Coca-Cola right now. This one is still aging though. I will say that I think it's fully macerated, but it needs to age some more. It's already starting to age. You can see the liquid is starting to change color. It's really, really beautiful. This is one that I was scared when I first got this, so that it was going to be way too masculine for me. And this one is changing, and it's sweetened up so much. It really does smell like Coke. I love this one. So that is Tonka Bean Addiction. Again, this is why I love clones, because I would never in a million years spend $650 on a Tonka fragrance from Guerlain. So I am so glad that there is a house out there that is making these fragrances accessible to the 95% of us that either couldn't or wouldn't spend $650 on a bottle of perfume. So that is Tonka Bean Addiction. Next, we have Candy of Creamy Vanilla. This is a clone of Lush Creamy Candy. I love this fragrance. This is just such a fun, easy breezy, sweet, truly candy-like fragrance. I absolutely adore this. It smells like sweet tart powder crushed up or something. I'm pretty sure it's the old Rockstar fragrance, which I loved. It's kind of like a bubblegummy, sweet candy-like vanilla. It's so yummy. I love this one. So that is Creamy Candy of Vanilla. Next, we have the Cologne of Ginger Biscuit. This is a clone of Jo Malone Ginger Biscuit. I love this. It smells like a gingerbread cookie, but a little bit creamier and a little bit softer. It's so good. I love this one. I have not smelled the, have I? I don't think I've smelled the real Jo Malone one, but I've heard really bad things about its performance. I've heard that it smells delicious and that people that have it absolutely adore it, but that it just does not perform well at all. And the Duo one does perform pretty well. I will say it's one of the lighter fragrances that I have from Duo. It's definitely lighter and wears a little bit closer to the skin, but it is still a very long-lasting fragrance. Like you're gonna smell it on yourself for 10 hours. I love it. It's such a yummy, like creamy gingerbread cookie scent. So that is the Cologne of Ginger Biscuit. And then this last one, I'm gonna forget what the clone of this one is. This is called Creamy Tropic Elixir, and this is, I cannot for the life of me remember, but it's a clone of a really yummy, like niche gourmand scent. This one has coconut and banana and caramel in it. And it ends up smelling like caramel covered bananas on your skin. It is so delicious. It's one of my favorite like summertime fragrances because it's such a delicious, decadent gourmand fragrance, but that is completely appropriate for hot weather. It is so yummy. So that one is called Creamy Tropic Elixir. That is most of my cologne fragrances. Again, in this video, these are all fragrances that for the most part I purchased myself. And then the first video, those were mostly fragrances that have been sent over to me. But yeah, I think those are all the fragrances that I would consider like clones that I've got in my collection. I would love to hear about your favorite clones. How do you feel about clones? You're not going to hurt my feelings if you hate clones and you think they're terrible. Again, I think that clones have their place. I think that they fill gaps. And that's my favorite way to see clones. I don't love to see clones that are just like, that are clones just to be clones. People making, you know, companies popping up, making clones of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue or Victor and Rolf Bon Bon or things like that. Those are not I don't really love that. I don't think that that's filling a gap. I don't think that they're super needed. You know, unless there are people out there that are like, Victor and Rolf Bon Bon is my favorite fragrance on the planet, but I just don't make enough money to buy that fragrance. So if I can find a $25 clone of it that will fill a gap for me, then that's, you know, that's totally fine. Like no judgment from me at all. But I feel like, you know, clones fill the gap for fragrances like this that are $650, and 99% of us are not going to spend money like that. Or they're filling this gap of, it's a formulation that's been discontinued and you are preserving that stunning formulation for those of us that want that. But anyways, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I would love to hear about your favorite clones and your favorite clone houses. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.